Welcome to this lesson on pivot tables in LibreOffice Calc. Pivot tables make it easy to rearrange, sort, and filter data in a table without using formulas. To create a pivot table, click a cell in the table, then press the Pivot Table button, or go to the Data menu, choose Pivot Table, then Create, or use the shortcut. Hold down Alt, press DPC. So in this table, I want the stores in columns and the representatives in rows, and I want to be able to choose which dates to display. First, I click a cell in the table, then hold down Alt, press DPC. The first dialog that comes up wants you to confirm the selection. If all the cells of the table are highlighted, click OK. Next, the Pivot Table Layout dialog comes up. This is where you design the pivot table. On the right, under Available Fields, there's a list of the fields from the original table. Then there are windows for page, column, row, and data fields. You start by dragging the fields listed in the Available Fields window to the other windows. First, drag the date into the Page Fields window. This will allow us to choose which date or dates to display. Drag the store to the Column Fields window. Then drag the representative to the Row Fields window. Finally, drag Sales to the Data Fields window. Notice that the Sales displays which function is used for calculating totals. You can change the function by double-clicking on it, and a data field dialog comes up with options for changing the function and displayed value. I'll leave it at sum for now and click OK. By clicking Options here in the lower left, you can add a filter to the table and choose whether to have totals on the rows or columns. By default, both rows and columns have totals. Click Source and Destination and you can choose where to place the new pivot table. By default, a new sheet is created for it. I want the table next to the original. So under Destination, choose Selection, then click the input box next to it. Now click a cell on the sheet where you want the table to be placed. I'm going to click F1. Then click OK. Now, here's our table. In the columns, we have totals for the stores, and on the right, totals for each sales representative. Up at the top, there's a date drop-down. This is what the page field was for. I can choose which dates are displaying in the table. At the top of the representative column, there's another drop-down, which lets me choose which sales representative to display. All this without using a formula. You will probably want to format the field headers and perhaps the total cells. You do this in the usual way. Drag and highlight the cells and press the background color button. If you change a value in the original table, the pivot table doesn't automatically update. You have to refresh it. I'll change an amount in the original table here. Notice nothing changes in the pivot table. Now I'll right-click on the pivot table and choose Refresh, and there we go. You can edit the layout anytime. Right-click in the table and choose Edit Layout, and the Pivot Table Layout dialog comes up again. I'll change the way the totals are displayed. Double-click the sales in the data fields, then click Displayed Value. Now change the type to Percentage of Total. Click OK, then click OK on the Layout dialog. Now, instead of amounts being shown, it displays the percentage of the total. You can instantly see how much the stores and representatives are contributing to the total sales. I'll create a new pivot table below the other one. Click in the original table. Hold down Alt, press DPC. By the way, if you have a situation here where the cells of the table aren't all highlighted, click Cancel, then drag and highlight the entire table and start again. Calc usually gets it right, but I've had a few occasions where it didn't highlight all the columns. Now press OK. This time I want the stores in rows and the representatives in columns. I'll put the sales in the data field as before. Click Options. Check Add Filter this time. This will display a filter button at the top of the table. Click Source and Destination. Under Destination, click Selection. Then click the input box next to it. Click cell F11. Click OK. Now when I click the filter button, I can filter up to 3 criteria. Click the button, then to view all the sales Anderson made over $5,000, in the first row, under Field Name, choose Representative. Condition equals. Value, choose Anderson. Next row, Operator AND. Field name, Sales. Condition should be more than. For value, type 5,000. Click OK. And there you have it. All the sales Anderson made over $5,000. Pivot tables are a very versatile and great way to get data arranged, sorted, and filtered the way you want. Well, that concludes this lesson on pivot tables. Thanks for watching.